What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a video on FIFA 16 that's coming a little bit out of left field, to be completely honest with you. Someone mentioned to me on Twitter the other day, they asked me, when I'm building an ultimate team on FIFA, what do I do to try and make sure that that team has got the best chance of being successful? How do I build the team? What do I look into? And like I said, just what do I look into that gives it the best chance of being a good team? Now, I can split this up into 4 different sections, and those are what we're going to be looking into in this video. If you do enjoy the video, it'd be awesome if you'd leave a thumbs up on it, by the way. Subscribe if you're new around here. I actually did a series on FIFA 15 that was called Your Personal Squad Builder, where I built teams that people wanted for a specific purpose, whether it was to involve a hybrid of 2 specific leagues, 1 specific league, whether they wanted it to play a certain way, like possession football, counter-attacking. If you want to see me do something similar on FIFA 16, I've been more than happy to do so. Today's video is going to be sort of along those lines, but a bit more vague and like some just strong guidelines of what you can do to help yourself have the best success. Now, the 4 sections that I've split this into, by the way, this video is probably going to be going on for like 10-15 minutes, so I want to go a little bit in depth there if I can. Hopefully I won't make it drag on too long, so do stick around. Yeah, the 4 sections. The first one is budget. Obviously, you've got to know what you're working with to build your team. Second one is your personal style of play, how you like to play on the game. Third is, I've got these written down in front of me so I don't forget. Third is the OP factor, as I've called it, which is what works well on the game. Because if you like certain players in your life, you might chuck them into a team, you can play all the beautiful football that you want, but if the players aren't good in the game, they're not good in the game, if you know what I mean. So you're not going to always have the best chance of winning. And the final thing is just player knowledge. It's just knowing players' weak foot abilities, what skill moves they've got, what height they've got, all that kind of stuff, which I do try to give you when I do my player reviews. That's why I try to include that stuff, because I think it is important on knowing what you're dealing with a particular player. Like if you've got a player on the right hand side, for example, in this formation on screen in particular, you want to know if they're left footed, so you're going to be cutting inside and trying to shoot, or right footed, so you're going to be running down the byline and crossing it in the majority of the time. But this is the formation that's on the screen, because it's the formation that I feel so far in FIFA 16 has suited me the most. Now, as a FIFA player, not just on FIFA 16, on FIFA 15 and 14 as well, I have been a person that likes width in the team. I always like to use wingers. However, I also like to have a CDM in the team, at least 1 as well, because I don't feel my defending is the best, and I feel that helps me have the most success in the team, because that can, basically, the CDM can stop their attack getting towards the defence, which leaves less chance for me to screw up in defence, basically. So this formation works well. An example of something that, you know, you think could work well but doesn't for me is the 4-3-2-1 this year, because I love the fact that the wingers are tucked inside, but I don't like the fact you haven't got a CDM. However, with instructions you are able to get a similar kind of effect with the wingers in this formation. Now, I'm going to be doing basically a concept BPL team. I'm not going to buy any of the players or play with the team, it's just going to be like a rough guideline, like I say. But we're going to look at a team, let's say if I've got a budget of 110k, just to make this really, really simple. That would mean, in theory, that's 10k per player. However, if I was in this formation and building a team right now, I wouldn't spend 10k on each player. I'd probably want to spend a little bit more in the key areas of the pitch. So I'd spend a bit more on positions like probably the wingers, the striker maybe, and the CDM. You also want 1 good centre-back at least. But then if you've got a good spine to the team, you can really do well with like lesser players around the pitch. And this is the kind of thing I'm going to try and explain now. There's always, BPL is fantastic for this in particular, there's always players that you can get that can do a job for you that are cheap. An example of this, BPL CDM, Nemanja Matic, who's going to cost you about 40k, fantastic player, as is Schneidlin, also going to set you back like 20-25k I think, but you can pick up someone like Czech Tiote. Where is he? There's Czech Tiote. You can pick him up for, let's see, I bought him a long time ago, I own this card, I picked him up for, in fact, what? I'm sure I own Czech Tiote. Clearly I've sold Czech Tiote since this, but Czech Tiote, you can pick him up for around like 3-4k I want to say. Less than that, 2k you can pick him up for, and he's going to do an absolutely stellar job for you at CDM. So if you wanted to then put more strength into other positions, you can do. He's got a good height, he's got good aggression, he's got good defending, all that kind of stuff. That 88 physical as well is absolutely amazing. Now, that's an example of someone that you could perhaps bring in, like I say, doesn't cost as much, and will still allow you to do the job. In another key factor for Czech Tiote, medium-high work rates, which are like, work rates can be so important in a team. It can make or break a team, in my opinion. That's another thing that comes down to the player knowledge. You've got to know what work rates people have got. In a CDM, you don't want someone with high medium, because they're going to be getting forward more than they're going to be getting back. You need someone that's going to sit there, happy to intercept. And another thing you could do to guarantee this, if you go to player instructions, is you could go on to him, make him sort of, I like cut passing lanes personally, but you could do man marking as well. You could go to stay back while attacking just to make sure that the player is going to stay back as well. So then again, that gives you the extra assurance that the player is going to be sitting and holding and he's going to be doing the job you want them to. This will then allow you to spend more coins in another position on the field. Now personally, Premier League strikers, someone I've been having a lot of joy with myself, we'll actually just look at my club because I have got him in my club, is this man here, Callum Wilson. I did a review on him yesterday or the day before. Absolutely love this card. He sets you back about 20k, but the fact that you cut back on the cost with Czech Toyota will allow you to get a player like this if you've got 110k budget. You can say 90 games, 20 goals. His ratio has fell off a little bit for me, but he's still been an absolute monster. High medium work rates is fantastic. 5'11", also fantastic for winning the headers. Not the tallest, but not too small that he's not going to be challenging. Only 3-star weak foot and 3-star skillness, but you can still get away with it because in my opinion, he's a really, really strong player. So you can spend a little bit more there. You might then want to spend a little bit more on the wingers. Now 110k isn't the most amazing budget in the world, so you could go for someone like Sterling, but that is going to be taking up a hell of a lot of your money. So if you go to concept players, you might perhaps want to look at someone like Gradle. 88 pace looks really good. Memphis Depay again looks really, really strong this year. Got about 50k I think he's going to cost you as well still. So I'd perhaps be tempted to look at someone like Montero. Looks really good. Balassi is another one. Balassi as well is someone you can get in on loan in the catalogue as well for like 13 games, which is really good. So you can bring in Balassi. He's not too expensive. Really, really strong player. Only 76 overall. The same can be said on the right hand side of the midfield because you've got people like Ibarbo. Really, really good on this game. His height, his pace suits the game down to, it's like he just suits the game so much. He's got high medium work rates as well. The height, the power, the 4-star skill moves, it's like ideal. So you could stick him in there. In fact, we will stick him in there. We'll put the whole team together as I'm going along here. There's centre mids. This is a game where work rates come into big play, in my opinion. In theory, you want two players here that have got high, medium. You don't want them to do too much more attacking than they are defending. You can perhaps get away with high, medium if you feel confident enough in your CDM. Now, I have a lot of confidence in Czech Toyota, so in my team with this formation, I'm actually using Inform Payet in his position, who's got high, medium, I believe, and he's doing a good job for me. But if you don't feel as secure, you could perhaps chuck in someone like, let's go concept players. Centre mids, I'll tell you who was fantastic for me, isn't too expensive. James Milner, high work rates, good at everything, and that's the kind of thing you want in that position. You want someone that can do the dirty work, do a bit of everything. We'll chuck him over there. Then the other centre mid again, you could go a bit more attacking, you could go a bit more defensive, it depends how you want to play. I'd be tempted to go for someone similar to Milner work rate wise, so someone like Fabregas could do a job. Toure you want to avoid really at the moment because his work rates are a bit of a put off, so in his formation he might not do so well. Ramsey, however, high, again, really good player, good all-round stats, he could really do a job for you in centre mid. Again, he's another player you can get in on loan on the transfer market, I believe. Now, that is a really solid base for the team in my opinion. You've got Wilson, who's a fantastic striker, you've got good pacey wingers in there, and these are players as well that are good in the game, like Ibarbo, OP as hell, Wilson, OP as hell, Balassi's got the 5-star skills, really strong. Milner's really good, Toyota's really good, and these are the kind of things you've got to be looking at. Like I said, this is the team that suits me, not necessarily you, but these are the things you need to be thinking of when you're building your team. Left back again, we've got a bit of money to spare here while we're building this team. We have 110k was our budget, I think, so left back, we can afford to splurge out a little bit, and Leighton Baines is a fantastic player, and although he's fantastic, he's going to set you back 15k. It's not somewhere that I particularly want to be spending 15k on. Again, I'd want to be saving a bit of money there. Left back's Kolarov did the job for me for the longest time. Baba Rahman could do a job for you. Bertrand looks okay. I'd be tempted to go for someone like Gibbs. Gibbs looks good. He's not overly expensive either, so you could get him in. Right back, you're looking for something similar. I've actually just purchased Coleman, who's been really good for me. And again, he wasn't too expensive, and he's actually the second highest rated defender in the league, so I'll go for him there. Again, the good work rates are key. He's got decent height, 5'10". He's got high, which is good for getting forward and getting back. Same can be said for Kieran Gibbs, high, medium, good work rates, 5'10", decent height, good physical, good defending. That's all the things that you want then. As your defence comes along now, we've got a bit of money to spare, so you can splurge out a little bit on the defence if you want to. Now, for me, I have been using Micah Richards and Rojo that have been really good. In fact, Rojo is a good buy. Marcus Rojo is an 81, I think, so it should be on the next page. Rojo, there he is here. You can see good pace, good defending, good physical, really strong. He doesn't cost you the earth either. How much did I pay for him? 13k. You've got that money to spend now in this team if 110k was the budget. Other centre-back, again, you might want someone that's a bit more defensively sound. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Rojo by any stretch, but because Rojo's got a good pace, you could partner him with a John Terry, and I'll still have confidence that he'd do the job. I really like the look of Otamendi. I've not used him yet this year, but you could spend a little bit on him. He costs you about 60k, however, so that's a big chunk of the budget will be gone. That'd probably send us over budget, to be honest, so we'll pick someone else just for the sake of this video and keeping it true to life with that budget. We'll go for Alderweireld, a bit too slow in my opinion, but he does look good. D. McAllis again, a bit too slow. Someone like Skirtle or Jagielka would really do a good job in my opinion. 67 pace is good, 83 defending, 81 physical. He's also got medium height, which is ideal for centre backs in my opinion, good height as well. So then that leaves us a bit spare for the goalkeeper. And goalkeepers are an area where you don't really want to cut corners. I mean, you can have a fantastic team, but if you have a crap keeper, it can all come undone so quickly. Obviously, the top end goalkeepers are usually your best ones. I used Fraser Forster early on, who was really good. He's a 76 rated overall. But I've recently bought in Joe Hart, who costs about 30-40k at this point in time, and he's an absolute beast. I think I paid 31k for him. You can probably afford him in his team with the money that we've spent so far, in theory. But that, in my opinion, is a really solid team. Now, you built your team. It's got some OP players in there. It's got some higher rates players in there. It looks really good on paper. But what you want to do now are the instructions to how you want to play. So, I've already talked about Toyota. You want him to be staying back while attacking. The defence you can usually leave pretty much alone, leave that as it is. Centre mids, it depends. I sometimes want them to stay back a bit more again, because this formation, you want them to be let the front three do all the attacking work, and then the midfielders be mainly defensive. So for me, I sort of say stay back while attacking and stay on the edge of the box for crosses, so you can get for that long shot. Jones men are going to do exactly the same. Stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for the crosses on the Queen. If you've got someone really tall, you might want them to get into the box. So, for example, if you had someone like Moussa Sissoko, a really tall, powerful lad in centre mid, you might want him to get into the box instead. Callum Wilson, I'm going to leave on stay central, because we've got the width from the wingers already. You don't want to be drifting him out wide, you want him to be staying down the middle. As far as the instructions go, you want him to be getting in behind as well, because he's got the pace to trouble any defence on the game. A lot of pace that lad's got. Now, Balassi, if you look at him, let's back out to that for a second, you can see he's right-footed on the left-hand side, but he has got 5-star skillman. So for me, you want to be getting this lad to cut inside. If you go to the player instructions, you can see stay forward I'm not going to do, because I do want him to be in a little bit of tracking back in, but that's nothing major. But we do want him to be cutting inside on his stronger foot. The ability to do a cross when he cuts inside on his stronger foot would be better, or even just to go for a shot. And I think Ibarbo is right-footed on the right-hand side. He has got a 4-star weak foot, so you perhaps don't want him to be cutting inside as much. But as he has got the 4-star weak foot, it shouldn't be too much of a problem if you wanted him to do so. Now, like I mentioned at the start, this is a team that I think would suit my style of play, and I think if I went into a game with this team right now, I'd have a reasonable amount of success. Like I said before, if you want me to do a team of certain playstyle for you, let me know down in the comments down below. This is just like the rough guidelines that I like to follow, but it's mainly knowing what you as a player like and what works well in the game that's going to give the most success. It's really simple, but it's the stuff that works really well, and just having that player knowledge. But like I say, if you want to do another one of these and play some games with a particular style of play team, if that makes sense, like if you want to see like a certain team, that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm jumbling my words up loads, but yeah, if you want to see that, let me know what kind of tip in the comments down below, and I'll think about doing it. Like I say, I probably will start like a Your Personal Squad Builder series if a lot of people want to see it. Like I say, let me know in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed this video, like I said at the start as well, leave a thumbs up on it, subscribe if you're new around here, and I hope this was helpful to you all. I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video, lads. Nidge out. Ding